Goalkeeper probably is Chelsea's biggest, only weakness. I'd say only weakness after a few of the young players develop a bit more.
I love me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks, baby.
Namaste, friends. What's going on? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. How's it going, friends? I hope you're doing well. Genuinely do hope that. And yeah, Chelsea news. This on the eve before the London derby, blue versus red, Chelsea versus Arsenal. I've done a match preview for that game. If you are interested, you're welcome to check it out. Previous upload to this one. But goalkeepers, there's been reports that we are still considering a goalkeeping target in a roster where we have 1,000 goalkeepers on the books anyway, and young lads are away on loan as well. There's something crazy like 10 or 11 goalkeepers, or 9 to 11 goalkeepers we have on the books, and we still don't have one good enough. Mental. We are speaking about a little bit on the Leicester goalkeeper that, of course, Enzo Maresca used last season in their championship win. And to be honest, I will talk about high-profile keepers as well, because it's so tough to get it right, and you could spend a lot of money and not have the answer. Chelsea set to make a huge loss on Kepa Arrizabalaga. No surprise there. And of course, many of you would have seen more history has been made with Willian, the Brazilian sensation, coming to Chelsea in the upcoming summer. Terribly exciting. Noni Madueke must be grasping himself. So very exciting indeed. We're going to get into all of it today. Guys, thank you for joining me. If you want to support that content, super simple. Just simply like the video, subscribe. If you do choose to subscribe, hit the bell. Like I said, at some point next week / following week, I'll get some graphics, new graphics for the green screen stuff for here and my other channel. So do keep it locked. Stay with me, and let's get into it. Ooh. I'm really warm behind these studio lights. So are there lights? I'm gonna pause and remove my jumper. Guns out, mate. Cool, so let's have a look at this then, first and foremost. This is exciting stuff. Fabrizio Romano's tweeted this. Willian makes history for Palmeiras, scoring again and becoming the first under-18 player in the history of the Brasileiro, the Brazilian league, to have at least 20 goals and assists in the edition of the competition. I guess there's more to go as well. I don't know the scheduling for the Brazilian league, but it looks like it's just breaking more and more records over and over and over. He's also been called up for the Brazil first team in 2025, and of course he's joining Chelsea in 2025. He is special. I know it's getting gassed up and hyped and jacked for a player who we're yet to see at Chelsea, but within months, he's going to be a Chelsea player. And in a time, last season, or, when we were thinking, well, Cole Palmer's the right winger. No, Cole Palmer plays on the inside, and no one ain't moving him from there, right? On the left-hand side, at the moment, it's Neto and Jadon Sancho. They're both I know Neto can play on the right, and probably likes to play on the right, but he's good on the left. So we've got the left solidified. Neto, Sancho, and even say it quietly, but Mudryk, he's been alright recently, isn't he? Quietly developing. Looks like he's got a smile on his face again. Scored a blinding goal midweek. It doesn't matter what opposition you're playing against. The execution of the goal was excellent. So quietly, there's been development with Mudryk that one cannot deny. Don't try and deny it. It's happening. So you must say the left is locked down. But look, I would love nothing more than for Noni Madueke to absolutely dunk on Arsenal tomorrow. Get even if it's not goals and assists, just playing really well. But the truth is, Madueke has gone off the ball a little bit. He's proven he can be sick and he can be really effective. And of course, he is the kind of profile, the type of winger that the Chelsea manager Maresca digs. He likes it. That's what he wants. And I'm not writing him off. But all I'm saying is, he was interviewed as well recently, Esteval, and he says, I want to be the best Brazilian to ever play for Chelsea. We've had a few good Brazilians, by the way. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, I want to be the best Brazilian that's ever played for Chelsea. I want to win loads of titles. I want to be the best player in the world. and he's absolutely tearing it up. And he's there's fireworks outside, guys. Sorry if you can hear that. And he's tearing it up, and it makes me think like, yeah, bro, you can probably, as provided you don't just get absolutely beaten up by the Premier League, and you're fine, you could probably just start for Chelsea. He obviously has been messaging Cole. He does his celebration. He can't wait to get to Chelsea. I'm excited, and we could have a ridiculous team, and maybe Noni Madueke won't be part of that, or at least this first team, which is fine. Look, if we sell Madueke, we're going to make money on him regardless. And look, I am not selling Madueke here. I'm just saying maybe Esteval starts for Chelsea, links up with Cole Palmer, and we win every single trophy available. Let's move on. All right. From highs to lows. How Chelsea are set to make an eye-watering £66 million loss on Kepa Arrizabalaga. Saw him play for Bournemouth earlier. Nicht so gut, mein friend. I don't know what I'm saying in German when he's Spanish, but not good. Kepa sat on the bench in the Champions League final at Wembley last summer, of course, even though he's the part of the team that won it from Real Madrid. Now he's lining up for Bournemouth. He's had limited options for a permanent move. He signed for Chelsea, of course, for a record fee, 2018, £71 million. He could now depart Stamford Bridge for just £5 million. With a release clause in his contract that is set that meager amount, according to reports. First of all, right, like, fine. I was totally happy for his contract to run down, and we just, even if we make a £66 million loss, yeah, the book value will be, next to nothing, a run down, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because it runs down a lot and he's extended a little bit as well, which affects the book value. Basically, Chelsea feel like he's still an asset that was worth money purely because he was the first choice goalkeeper in half a season at Real Madrid, half a season that won the Champions League and La Liga, and he was an important contributor in that campaign. So they're like, that's got to be worth a few million quid, surely. The way he's playing for Bournemouth, he looks absolutely pony. The Spanish stopper was hailed as someone who could emerge as one of, if not the best goalkeepers in the world, but struggled to live with the pressure of being Chelsea's number one. If certain conditions are met, Kepa could move permanently to the south coast and stay at Bournemouth. This is no discredit. Firstly, he did have a high ceiling, Kepa. Before we bought him, Real Madrid considered him. Last season, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich were sort of fighting over him in a weird change of events. Of course, we finished mid-table with Graham Potter. But, this summer before last. We finished mid-table with Graham Potter, but Kepa kind of did have an individually good season at Chelsea. Although, as rather frustratingly, he was always trying to highlight that fact. No, you're a team player. We stunk the season up. But yeah, he was very much sort of, all for one at that moment. Anyway, so yeah, obviously we signed him. First good season, he was all right. Under Sarri, when we won the Europa League, I was going to a lot of games then. He did do some big saves and good goalkeeping then. And then obviously he gets dropped for Edouard Mendy. Mendy has a really good 18-month spell in terms of form and purple patch, which saw him win the AFCON, the Champions League, win FIFA. Did he win FIFA best goal? I think he might have been robbed by Donnarumma, which is the most fraudulent thing ever. But look, let's be real. Mendy rose his level when he was goalkeeping at Chelsea. Like, it wasn't, it was like an amazing moment, like a point in time where the whole team got together. I mean, really, if you look at the Champions League winning team back to front, they're all gone now except like Reece James and Chile, but Chile's basically gone. It was like a moment of time and just things happening, and Frank Lampard putting this team together, Thomas Tuchel making them a hard to defeat team and winning the tournament. None of it shouted sustainability, did it? It was just vibes, and maybe that's why the club did need to be sort of leveled top to bottom and start again. Yeah, anyway, so Mendy, and remember, Mendy got dropped again for Kepa. Kepa won his place back. Did you know Kepa has kept more than 100 clean sheets in his senior career across 4 different clubs? He has the most with Chelsea, keeping 59 in 163 appearances. 59 in 100. That's how is that? So 60, that's like 1 in every 2. 3.5, 1 in every 3.5 games, which is kind of fine, good. But he was like, you just take a long shot at him and he just goes through him. Even today, watching Brentford play Bournemouth, they were just kicking long shots at him and he was going, and I was like, yep, I remember that. So what's next for Kepa? So far this season, the 30-year-old has made 5 appearances in the Premier League, maybe 6 now after today. He was not involved in the last 2 games against Aston Villa and City due to an injury. Of course, he's come back today and 8 free goals against Brentford. A Brentford that was that lost 2-1 to Fulham. They managed to come back and stick 3 past Kepa. Whatever, man. Like, old news. Just friggin'... He'll have to half his wages. I'm sure maybe Athletic Bilbao will take him back for 5 million. Let's just friggin' move on. But bigger and better things for the Chelsea. We've got a great team, a great attack. Maybe missing that a Galactico striker, but that will, time will tell, and we will see if we go back in for Osimhen or if there's a shout for Gyökeres or whatever. We'll see what happens with that. But of course, the recurring narrative is goalkeeper. I am not convinced with Rob Sanchez or Jorgensen. Even though Sanchez can have amazing games, I'm not suggesting he's not capable of it. He is, but no consistency, no faith from me. I'm going to read an article here from Chelsea.news, a guy called Charlie Patrick writing about this and citing some stuff from the Mail. He says this: there are still some individuals associated to Leicester who claim Mads Hermansen could still join Chelsea in the future, according to reports. So the goalkeeping situation at Stamford Bridge is a bit of a mess at the moment. Amen. And the current number 1, Robert Sanchez, has been heavily criticised this season. The Blues have signed a number of goalkeepers over the past windows, and despite the money spent, it's evident they don't have a top-class shot stopper. I agree. Chelsea signed both Sanchez and Georgi Petrovic in the summer of 2023. And Petrovic became number 1 despite being the really cheap MLS goalkeeper, which we shouldn't. This is not Chelsea, do you know what I mean? That's not right. You can go Moneyball all you want, and when you get the old Cole Palmers, Malo Gustos, Lavias, although Lavia was very expensive. There's Renato Vega, great signing. Under 12 million quid, 11 million quid for Renato Vega, who looks like he's going to get better and better and can play in loads of positions. Excellent signing. But you can't do that with a goalkeeper, Of course, we added Philip Jorgensen and the youngster Mike Penders in the window just gone. The decision to make Sanchez number 1 this season has come under a lot of criticism given the number of mistakes he has made, While Petrovic, who outperformed the Spain international last season, he's been sent on loan to Strasbourg. Yeah, Maresca wants his goalkeeper to build up from the back and to be good with his feet. One of the reasons he gave for Sanchez being in the team, although this is arguably one of the weakest parts of his game, as he's demonstrated this season. Yeah, what's just myth? That Sanchez is a really good footballing goalkeeper. I just do not believe that due to what I've seen with my eyeballs. Sanchez has been defended by Maresca on several occasions. Whilst it's been reported Chelsea believe he can become one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Yeah, this has been like the line that Chelsea's been pushing. Like, yeah, look, it's been a bit wobbly. And this is something that Matt Law of The Telegraph reported, that he's been briefed by Chelsea essentially. And they say, look, Yeah, it's not been all sunshine and rainbows with Sanchez, but we believe he can be the best because he's got everything in the locker. It's just up here in his head that he needs to sort out, and that can come with time because he's still not the oldest goalkeeper. I don't know, man. Clutching at straws, if you ask me. Before signing Jorgensen in the summer, Chelsea were linked with a move for, of course, Leicester keeper Hermansen. And the Daily Mail journalist Kieran Gill, who is fairly reputable, has reported that individuals associated to Leicester believe that the 24-year-old could still come to Chelsea and be that guy for Maresca. The report adds that nobody in Chelsea was prepared to back up that claim, and insiders have insisted they're happy with what they're working with. So this is the brief from Chelsea. But the reports are suggesting that, maybe not. But Chelsea aren't going to be like, we're really unhappy. We need a good goalkeeper. We've messed up with the goalkeepers. Oh, God, someone sell us a goalkeeper. They're never going to do that. They're going to be like, no, these guys are good. And, whatever. Even I guess if they sell him or whatever, because they've got so many freaking goalkeepers, they're going to be lumbered with them, all their contracts, all their wages. They can't say these men are crap, can they? Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see developments with that. This is tough, guys, because I've spoken about this at length. I've kind of said before that I would like Chelsea to just go not all in, but like spend the money on a goalkeeper, like get a good goalkeeper, get a leader at the back, some guy who can like just take responsibility and do the basics constantly and with continuity. But it is tough. It is tough because I feel like it's less risky to spend loads. Let's say one figure. Let's say £70 million, all right? £70 million sterling. In English, old English money. What's a bigger risk spending 70 million quid on? A striker or a goalkeeper? It's got to be a goalkeeper. Because it's just unhealthy. Look at Kepa, there you go. Case in point, £71 million Kepa. The exception to the rule would be £60 million Alisson at Liverpool. That is the biggest fumble we've ever done because we nearly signed him before we let Liverpool get him, and we ended up paying more for Kepa. And I think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the league, top 3 in the world. So let's just say there's Diogo Costa, Portuguese goalkeeper, or Mike Maignan, who I don't think's been that impressive for both France and Milan of late, but he is a high-profile goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Like spending 70 million quid on one of these, man. Is that the best usage of 70 million quid? I'm not sure. Is there because there's so many high-performing like goalkeepers that aren't superstar names but were bought for nothing, and that's kind of what Chelsea were trying to do with Sanchez, although I'd argue it was a mistake, a Ben Roberts-led mistake. Jorgensen, but Jorgensen so far has looked wobbly, and I don't really have any particular trust in our goalkeeping coaches, even though we're supposed to have a lot, so it's super tough. Despite having, unless Penders is really, really good, there's loads of other young keepers that have gone elsewhere, Slanina and all of them, man. Unless Penders is the guy for the future, I think despite having signed 9, 10, 11 goalkeepers, how many we've got, I'd still get another one. And I'd sell a bunch. At the moment, I'd probably start the guy that we've sent to Strasbourg. But he's not meant to be great at passing. I don't know, man. We need a goalkeeper. Let me know what you think, though. Mads Hermansen, interesting. If Enzo... I kind of, trust Enzo Maresca a lot, actually, from what I've seen from him as a manager. His, tactical innovations, changes. I like the way he's dealt with players, from little things like how he didn't tell Tyreek George he was starting till just before the game because he thinks it's the best way to psychologically deal with him. I like the way he's called out Reece James. I like the way he called out Mudryk, and I think it's worked in the way he's done it. I like the way he's praised certain players like Lavia and Fofana. I think he's done well, and I think he's a good coach. And if he wants this player, I think we should give it to him, personally. Although, remember we were totally briefed, or we were told by everyone that Dewsbury Hall was nothing to do with Maresca. It was a Chelsea signing. Maybe Chelsea were like, here we go, we got you this guy. You know this guy? I don't think Dewsbury Hall was a good signing for £30 million for a guy that's kind of in the C team at the moment. But, if that was a Maresca signing, we'll have to see. Regardless, everyone needs to come together, get around the table and find the right goalkeeper and probably not spend a silly amount on. Let me know what you think, though. As always, I put out to you guys in the comments. Share your thoughts, feelings, emotions, musings, etc. Start up the conversation. I'll thank you for liking. I'll thank you for subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And see you back here after the Arsenal game. Peace.